Welcome back to the conversation. Without the conversation, we can't have the understanding. We are going for part two. Yes, part two with Dr. Tammye around health and wellness and living a healthy lifestyle. This time, we're going to turn it up a notch. Okay, now I need you guys to put your hands together. Dr. Tammye, are you all right? Coming to the ring. All right.
I love it.
All right. So let's talk about stress and let's talk about lifestyle illness. So by the way, guys, that was two separate episodes that she did because they were really deep and you had to really understand how they relate. But I actually want to talk about lifestyle illness because that sort of kind of brings you back to the stress. So let's talk about lifestyle illness and give people really what that means.
Yes. So lifestyle illnesses. So my focus is always on teaching mind, body, spirit connection. Lifestyle illnesses includes the number one cause of death, which is heart disease. Heart disease is preventable and it's reversible. Also, cancer. The same things, preventable and it's reversible. And then diabetes. These are considered lifestyle illnesses because they're predicated on genetics is a piece of it, but more so the practices that you've put in place that have led you down the path to develop those diseases. Although you may have a genetic predisposition for heart disease, cancer, or diabetes, it doesn't mean that that has to be your destiny. And that's the misconception that I try to teach our community in regards to lifestyle diseases.
Okay. Explain that a little bit more because I can think people might get that confused because they're not understanding that the way you live can influence the illness that you may have later on. Even though you might have even though you might have it in your family genetically, but the things that you do now can either accelerate that illness or can prevent that illness by living a certain lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Stress, which is the number one cause of illness. You have a choice of the type of stress that you want to invite into your life. Now, there are what we call internal factors and external factors that cause stress. External factors are more so, the job that you select. Do you decide to marry? Do you decide to have children? Do you decide to work a job that's 60, 80 hours, a week? Those are those external factors. But there are also internal factors that you also have control of, and that has to do with not only your diet, not only your exercise, but the amount of sleep that you get. Those are the internal factors that determine how well you handle the external factors. When we don't handle those well, then we set up an environment for dis-ease.
Okay. So let's talk about the sleep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the sleep.
I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead.
There you go. You hit it on the head. Why is it so important to get that 8 hours of sleep? Like what's going on in your body? Like I think, and again, you explain to people why it's so important to let your body. I call it the recharge. Like most people understand, like when you're sleeping, there's different levels of sleep, and why REM sleep is more important than you just closing your eyes and go.
Yes. So I encourage 7 to 8 hours of sleep because yes, you do have different cycles of sleep. But allowing your body to lie down and rest and relax allows the systems of the body to begin to heal themselves. The brain and the gut begins to communicate. When you are lying down, literally your kidneys are able to rest. Your heart rate decreases. It's able to relax. Healing happens when you rest. When you're going into that deep, rapid eye movement, that REM sleep that you talked about, that's literally like being able to turn the computer off in the brain and being able to reset. That allows like your subconscious mind to, I don't want to get too deep into it, but in order for you to dream and to be able to create and flow. And that's why when you have that good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you wake up charged with creative ideas. You have energy. Your body feels well. It feels balanced. That is a healthy body when you can sleep 7 to 8 hours a day. Now, when you
Wow.
can't sleep that long
Okay.
and you
Okay.
get power naps, and you're going 3 to 4 hours, know that, yeah, eventually it'll catch up with you because you haven't reset regularly. Remember, the body is a living thing. It's organic. It's not a machine. And machines break down. The body breaks down. So healing and repairing can't happen when there is, say, for example, your arteries are starting to clog because you're eating animal products. You're not getting enough exercise as you should. Minimally, if you can just rest, that'll allow the blood vessels to relax. So then that way, whatever is sitting in the arteries or possibly can pass because it's not hard and rigid from you and constricted from going all the time. You're actually relaxing, allowing the blood to flow freely. So just to kind of give you an idea of what can happen if you're not getting enough sleep.
Mm, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Now, now,
Yes. It
now, some
is
of
a
these
part.
preventative measures. When you're saying preventative, like what? Explain that when you say preventative. If that means okay, if you know that you have heart disease in your family
Yeah.
or something like that, you may need to do something preventatively. Like, hey, we ain't saying run a marathon. Okay, what we are saying that get those 10,000, 20,000 steps in. Get the heart moving consistently. I think most people, they have the problem when they say, oh, I'm going to go work out. And here's the big thing that I tell everyone, that it's not the totality of working out.
Uh-huh.
It is getting your heart rate to a certain level and being able to maintain that level for a certain amount of time.
Yes. Perfect.
That's it. I mean,
That's perfect because your heart is a muscle.
yes.
If you don't use it, you lose it. And in order to keep that muscle strong, and like you said, with heart disease, that runs in your family. Your grandmother had a stroke. Your grandfather had coronary artery disease. Okay, all it falls under, under that category. Then proactively, I can't sit and eat and watch TV and not work out because heart disease runs in my family. So if anything was to go down in regards to this, it's probably going to start in my heart. Someone that comes from a family of diabetics, I can't eat carbs and sugar, and I can't overwork my body. I can't overeat. I have to walk regularly. If I don't do, you don't have to do hardcore workouts.
No,
But
no, 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 no.
yeah, you can't eat, you can't do what other people do in order to prevent your body, your pancreas, from overworking because it's more susceptible to not working and having problems with insulin
Now,
production.
she just said something. I think people don't get the correlation of what the organs actually do in their body.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so let's take them down the path of the liver
Yeah.
is responsible for X, the kidney is responsible for Y, the pancreas is responsible for Z. Because I think people really don't get the correlation from a
Yeah.
holistic perspective. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So when the food then comes from, your stomach, so you got the digestion, then the food then has to be converted into other substances. So that's where you get the glucose and all of that. And then it's going to go into the pancreas of the body in order to be converted. When you are eating too much food, or you're having too heavy of a meal, then you're asking your pancreas to constantly overwork to try to produce insulin, to try to convert the glucose, to try to get the body to, so there is a lot that's happening. Your liver, your natural detox organ, is now getting like all of this, the remains, the toxins and things. You're overworking the liver because you put too much of something in there. And then now your kidneys of the body, that's the filter in order for you to be able to get um, clean matter, for the lack of better expression, into the bloodstream. So now the liver's trying to work and just trying to clean and keep the blood clean, but you have all of this animal fat, and now the kidneys are having to overwork. In some cases, you're putting in too much sodium or something that's throwing the electrolytes off in the heart, that's throwing the electrolytes off in the kidneys. So now the kidneys are finding themselves having to function to keep up with the load of food, of dense cooked food, that it was never designed to have to break down, especially with the overconsumption of processed foods. The processed foods are probably killing us just as much as the animal products, because our bodies were not designed to have to break this food down. So now, the food is going into the colon of the body. Now the colon, you hear people who get diverticulitis, they get Crohn's disease. You have inflammation now that is happening in the colon. And not even just the colon, inflammation that's in your extremities now, because the toxins are settling in the areas or the linings of the organs that are weaker, the weak areas, those toxins in women, in your ovaries, in your uterus, and men in the prostate, toxins. It can be in your eyes. Because we realize that the food, the blood, it circulates throughout the entire body. In the brain, you wonder why people get fibroids. Wonder why they get tumors, because it's the accumulation of toxins that have never been disrupted. They just kept congregating in whatever areas of the body that's weak, and then eventually because the body is always trying to protect itself, so it's actually formed and encapsulated the toxins to protect the bloodstream, and then now you have some type of foreign invader just sitting on your organs. And that's
Wow.
why it's so important, and why I stress the importance of detoxing regularly.
Wow. See, I couldn't explain it that way. But the way you
Yeah,
explained it, it made
yeah,
sense, because you put real life situations of understanding, okay, it goes here, then it has to go here. And
yeah,
this why is so important. That's why I asked, like, we gotta do it. We gotta do another show, because I think people need to understand the importance of some of the illnesses that we have. We can
yeah,
actually prevent them.
We
I know
really can. And we
it's a
can
crazy
reverse them
notion.
too.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
yes,
reverse
yes,
them.
yes. It's a crazy notion that you could be taking insulin, but if you just decrease your sugar intake, do some exercise,
Carbohydrates, absolutely.
get
Drink your water.
hydrated,
Yeah.
and no one's saying lose 95 pounds. No one's saying that.
Mm-mm.
No one's just
Mm-mm.
saying just equalize your body to a point where it's like, oh, okay, you can come back 6 months later, a year later, and they say, guess what? You're good. The key, when
Yeah.
I find out, okay, because you do this, once people actually get their body right, how do they
Yeah.
keep it right?
That's the big thing. What you do to get there, you got to do to stay there. However, I will say this,
Okay.
as we age, so we have to be in a constant state of wanting to, I like to say, wanting to master ourselves, self-mastery.
Right.
Because as we age, okay, the arteries are starting to harden just naturally because our bodies are naturally deteriorating. So you have to keep listening to your body as it tells you, hey, when I eat this piece of pie, now I'm noticing that, I have pain somewhere. Okay. So maybe I can't do this pie anymore. Or I notice if I have a whole potato instead of a half a potato that I feel a little loopy or my brain feels a certain way. I have brain fog or I'm belching more. All signs and symptoms that your body is saying you can't do a whole potato anymore. You
Oh my
have to
goodness.
constantly pay attention to your body because it's talking to you. When you aging, we all aging hopefully, but you can slow down the aging process by paying attention to the signs.
Okay. So here's the thing. Okay, I want to, because I tell people this, and so it's not off topic, but it still is. Motivation versus discipline.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I tell people this, and I want to get your thought, because I know people are like, well, wait a minute, how you just jump off this? Because it literally comes back. I think it's easy for us to get motivated to lose the weight. But I think it's hard for us to stay disciplined to keep the weight off.
That's why mind, body, spirit connection, which is what I teach, is important. Understanding that. Because you're absolutely right. You can get all motivated and, hey, I see the vision. I have this vacation going on. I want to wear this bikini. I want to wear my stomach out if you're a man or whatever have you. And so you're motivated, and then the event happens, and then it's like, oh, well, what's the motivation? So the mind has to be changed to think further than the superficial. So yeah, the outcome of practicing, healthy living is you're gonna look good. You feel good, it's gonna show. Yes. But the mindset is it's about I want to be here to see my grandchildren.
There you go. There you go. There you
or
go.
I want to be an example for my children on growing old gracefully. Like you got to dig deeper in order for you to be able to tap into that self-discipline because see, it's no longer about you. And it also will help keep you motivated. But it's a bigger cause than just you.
Wow. Okay, now, Tim, now, I know we didn't do it on the other episode, but I'm going to let you talk about you. I want people to know how can they call you? How can they email you? How can they text you? How can they go to a website? They need to know how can they get in contact with you about the services that you do and about your business. So I'm going to let you do your thing. Just Tell the people about Restored by Tammye. Go ahead.
Well, you talked about motivation, and Restored by Tammye was founded 11 years ago, actually, based on wanting to encourage and motivate others as I had been motivated and encouraged to reverse my illnesses. I had high blood pressure in my 30s. I had fibroids. I had lymphedema. I weighed 242 pounds. I mean, I just could not lose the weight. I was getting bigger and bigger. Every time I lost 15, I gained 30. So I was on this vicious cycle towards a heart attack or stroke. So at the age of 39, I decided, after my daughter had graduated from college and got married, I said, you know what, it's about me. I'm going to shut everything down, and I am going to learn how to heal myself. And so thus I ended up with a life coach, and I had the help and assistance, and I left the pharmaceutical industry so I could start the business to help others. I couldn't believe that the pain and all the agony that I went through in my 30s could have been corrected had I just eliminated some of the foods and some of the people, because again, mind, body, spirit, some of the old thoughts that did not serve me, that I had been conditioned to believe, and this newfound freedom came upon me. So my motivation initially was, well, I'm going to be turning 40, and I want to have like this great life in my 40s. But the reason that I've been able to stay disciplined is because I have a bigger call in helping my community to learn the truth about how to live a balanced, healthy life. And I don't just teach it, I live it. That has been my motivation for the last 11 years, as well as I have now grandbabies. So I am that model for my grandbabies and my daughter and how to age gracefully. And you don't have to be, sick and tired as you are aging. So that's my continued motivation. The discipline that I had to still has to do with my spiritual practice. And so with Restored, I'm literally teaching you and guiding you and holding your hand and helping you create what you need to stay motivated, what you need to stay disciplined, but also providing you with the knowledge in order for it to help change the brain. So, just like you talked about, Corinthus, it's important to understand what's happening in your own body. Nobody should know our bodies better than us. We go to the doctor in order to tell them what's happening, to get the test done, but ultimately we have to take responsible for our own healing. And that's what we do at Restored. My website is Restored by Tammye, TAMMYE.com. You can find me on all the social media platforms under Restored by Tammye or under Tammye Mathews. You can call me. My cell number, you can call me directly, is 312-714-0449. And we will set up a time. I provide not only coaching on a healthy lifestyle, but also I have group detox classes going on for the month of May, and I have a holistic oasis that we created in order for those who during the time of COVID needed a place to come and sit in the massage chair, Corinthus, or get a foot massage. They could come in, they could have that quiet place, they can get their massage, they can journal. So we have services just to help to support you in living a healthy lifestyle, but more importantly, to teach you the truth about self-care, self-love, and self-healing.
Oh, wow. See, so everyone, y'all need to just go ahead, sign on up. I said, sign me up. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Just sign up, especially for a detox. She just started a new detox program. So guys,
Yes.
go to our website, sign up. It's very important. Again, now you know you gotta be regular now, right? I want you to know. I just want you to know you
I
gotta
love
be
it.
a
Thank
regular
you.
because there are just some things that I think, and again, the way that you articulate it and explain it, I think is the big thing. Sometimes we get fancy with it, but sometimes we just need it broken down to the way we can understand it. We know we don't need that fried chicken.
Exactly.
Exactly. We know instead of frying the chicken, what it might be better if we air cooked it. Now, okay, now we know we still get some skin, but we ain't getting the grease.
Right.
We ain't getting the grease. We're not getting the grease.
Right.
That fried
chicken. Somewhere. We started somewhere.
We got to start. Okay. We got to start somewhere. All right. Okay. I know.
Absolutely.
I know. Salmon will be better, but it's not like no chicken. We gotta have chicken. So guys, again, thank you for watching the conversation. Without the conversation, we can't have the understanding. Talk to you next time.